to it. All right, so today I figured we would go over any questions that you guys have thus far. I know a lot of you are at different points in your internship, and so I'm sure you all have all different sorts of questions. And then as you know, per the last call, which was our first call, any type of feedback I can get on how to make the program better or smoother or anything like that. Like I said, we will eventually be hiring people on to help us with responding back to everybody. So the way that's quicker. I know that's one of the things that we can improve is just speed to response whenever you guys have questions on Slack. So believe me, we're trying to work through that as quick as possible. We have applicants every day that apply to Skillbridge, so trying to make it, you know, trying to reach out to everybody and make sure everybody's taken care of can be a challenge on top of both of our full-time jobs. So definitely appreciate you guys' patience in that. So I guess I would start out with whatever questions that you guys had. I know Anton had some questions that you had asked me. If you wouldn't mind reminding me of what those were again, because I don't have those pulled up.
I'll start with the one I wrote down, and then I'll go back to my Facebook questions that I posted. But so I saw this question, actually, it was on my one of my PSI practice exams. It said the Equal Credit Opportunity Act can deny a lender to an individual whose primary source of income is commission sales. So I was wondering if you ever encountered a buyer client whose primary source of income was commission sales. Did you have any issues with them getting their credit or their loan? And if so, how did you deal with those issues?
So that's really lender specific. You know, as a real estate agent, my commissions are, you know, I'm commission based. So, but I haven't had any problems with applying for loans. So basically what you have to do is provide that, basically like proof of income and proof that you're going to, you know, your business is steadily going to increase. I do this full time, so that makes it a little bit easier for me. And then I have also years of past sales that I can show as well. But as far as clients specifically, I haven't had anybody yet. I don't think that has been primarily commission sales because I do deal with a lot of military. So, you know, military, you guys get your paycheck on a steady basis. So, as far as commission based, no, I haven't dealt with that yet. I wish I did, so that way I can give you a better answer, but I haven't yet.
Okay, gotcha. I'm going through my Facebook to figure out where I posted those questions. Oh, here it is.
I think it was via Slack. Let me go back.
Yeah, it says
So
EMD money, when we receive it from our buyer client, is there a local EXP broker that we send it to deposit?
So how the EMD works, of course, is going to depend on which state that you're in, how what the primary method is for that. So here in California, the primary method is EXP, no matter what state you're in, doesn't touch client money. So we never hold client money, never take a check from client. So those monies will go directly into an escrow account and it will be wired over. So I know other states also have the option of doing a wire transfer, or you'll be doing it via personal check that you drop off specifically to the office. When I say you, I mean you as the buyer. And so the buyer will drop off the check, or they'll do, you know, whatever is in that offer as a check mark. And then you should know, or at least have a mentor or somebody that tells you how that's normally done. And I think most states are doing that primarily via wire transfer. But if for whatever reason your client's really sensitive to doing the wire transfer because there's a lot of wire fraud out there, then you can tell them that, you know, they can do a different option, but they would just need to do it within a few days.
Okay, sounds good. And then my last question was, I heard great things about EXP. I kind of want just your personal opinion. Are there any bad things we could potentially be looking at?
Okay, that's a good question. Um, so I've been with EXP for 2 years now. So I feel like I have a good amount of experience there to be able to tell you. So I mean, there's a lot of pros to being an EXP where you can just log into the virtual world like you guys have seen. You have direct access to your broker from going into the state broker rooms if you have a specific question. So there's all kinds of support there. And of course, the split's great, the cap is great, the stock is great, the training is great. Um, but as far as stuff that we have dealt with specifically, so I would say that sometimes we do have problems with, like, if there's a specific training and it's a really popular training and there's a lot of agents, and I'm saying like 1,000 agents or so that want to be in that specific room. So like say they're in the EXP main auditorium, sometimes it can kick you out multiple times and won't let you in. So that's an issue that they definitely need to look at to get that taken care of. Because if you're attending, like I'm attending the relocation class right now, and there were over 700 people, up to 1,000 people in that room, and people were getting kicked out, or they would have to expand it to another room to be able to accommodate everybody. Of course, that's a great thing that so many people are wanting to attend the training. But my husband, David, he was trying to log on to a training and it just kept kicking him out over and over and over again. And then EXP World would crash. But of course, that's what you're going to deal with if you're in a virtual brokerage, in a cloud-based brokerage, that you're going to deal with those sort of issues. I think they're handling it in a different way, I guess temporarily, where there are some options that you could do. You basically put your avatar on simple mode, and then as long as people aren't filling up the chat with so many questions and all of that, then it should be fine and not kick you out. So that's one of the issues that I've seen that we've dealt with being at a virtual brokerage versus one that you're going to the office. Obviously nobody's going to kick you out of an office, but it's just a problem that you have specifically with a cloud-based brokerage. Um, and then the other thing I would say with EXP is, what's great about it is that at close of escrow, like if your state is an escrow state, some people do attorneys, whatever, but here in California, escrow pays us, not title, not an attorney. So how we could get paid is, as soon as the transaction closes, escrow will cut us a check. And so we've had problems in the past with different escrow companies with their specific policies not wanting to, like there would be some sort of issue with picking up the check or them splitting the check. Most of our issues that we've had have come from the payment processing part, because at the end of your transaction, they will issue a commission disbursement. And so on that CD, it's called a CDA. And so whenever they do that CDA, it will break down your split to the brokerage, what your commission is. And then if you have anybody else that's like handling your files or whatever, those will be on there as well. So the way it splits out, you don't have to worry about paying your transaction coordinator or what have you. So we've had problems with, so say we got a referral from a different client or a different agent in a different state. So if we get that referral, we wanted to pay them out. And so what we recently encountered was that EXP, the transaction, the payment processing center, was really messing up how, the splits on who was getting paid what. At first, they weren't paying our referral agent anything, and then they finally added it on, but it was wrong. And so it was about a month and a half of going back and forth with trying to manage a lot of issues there. And so that's definitely not the experience that we want other agents to have whenever they do send us business at EXP. And so that's one of the issues that we're going to bring up to them, because we need it to be a little bit more seamless, and it has not been. And I feel like on every transaction, there has been something that we've had to go to them and say, hey, this doesn't look correct. You need to fix this. And like we have a transaction that's closing next week, and we have somebody that is called a showing agent. So showing agents just go and open up the doors, and then you can get paid a percentage at the end of the transaction in order to help that agent just show their clients homes. So that's what we do. And so since we had a showing agent, we were paying them 10% at closing. We had them added on, and now EXP is coming back and saying that that agent is going to be in the negative by the time they take everything out. So they're obviously doing something wrong. And so that's a little frustrating for us because we're like, hey, you know, this shouldn't be an issue. You guys should know, you know, not to be condescending or anything, but they should know how to do that. So that way it's not an extra burden on us to try to make sure every single page check is correct. So other than that, there hasn't been anything else. But I would say at every brokerage you're going to have something, and but I'd say that those are two of the main issues that we've had.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing? I had a question. After we get our license, since you said that you work with a cloud-based brokerage, do we hang our license with GWOT or do we hang it with EXP for the duration of our stay in the program?
Yeah, so with Gwilt Group, we're not a brokerage, so you would be hanging your license with EXP if you choose to do that after you do the program. And if you're hanging your license while you're in the program, basically how it works is that we would sponsor you into EXP. But if you got your license outside of EXP, you finished the program, or if you got your license and you finished the program and you decide to go with a different brokerage, there's nothing we can do there. You know, you can choose whoever after if you want to.
So if we had we say the program 6 months, we finish in 3, get our license, what would be the duration of our stay in the program? Just fulfilling those Asana check marks?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you would do all of the training. You know, you're going through getting your license, doing the training within Asana, and then after you finish your, you know, whatever the length of your program is, if it's 2 months, if it's 4 months, if it's 6 months, after that, you know, you're done with the program. However, so we just had somebody graduate from our program, which is awesome because that was our first one completely through since we're such a new program. And so he hadn't gotten his license yet. So at that point, it's not like we kick you out and just say, okay, bye, you're done now, you know. So he can continue to, you know, do all of the trainings and stuff afterwards. So just because he finished the program and you know, and he doesn't have his license yet, it doesn't mean that, you know, just because he finished, you know, he no longer has access. So we'll keep you on that training, you know. So you're going to have access to it whether you're finished with the program or not.
Okay, thank
you. Yeah. But that was a good question because that's something that I did want to bring up to you guys.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
So I know you touched on it before, but what does it look like when you get your license and you're, you know, teamed up with a licensed agent, like your mentor? Like, what does that look like going forward?
Okay. Yeah, I remember you asked me this question. So how that works is after you get your license, that's when, if you choose to get your license first, right? So after you get your license, you will be paired up with a mentor that it most likely won't be me unless you're here in California and you want me to be your mentor. It will most likely be another EXP agent that, so in order to be a mentor and a certified mentor, you have to have at least 8 transactions a year. And so you're getting paired up with people who know what they're doing. They have transactions under their belt, they are experienced, and so they can help you. And that's whenever you start going through your mind flash and you can start going through Fast Track now, but I believe Mind Flash, you have to be paired up to a mentor before you can start that. But Fast Track, I believe people have been doing that already. So there's nothing wrong with starting Fast Track. It's, you know, actually good because you already know those things.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Let me turn my phone on silent. And I know I also had the question about going through the program and how you go through the program. The thing is that every single one of you on this call have a different length of time that you're doing the program. So most people are doing 4 months, some people are doing 6 months, but it might look completely different for you if you are licensed already or if you're getting your license. So some people choose to get their license before they start the program, which is awesome. But if you haven't gotten your license, obviously this is what the training is for. So you can go through the training at that point. So it, you know, it's just going to look different. So that's why Asana is basically a template, right? So it's a template that I share with everybody that joins the program. And it's basically, you know, it's going to be customized to whatever, like you can customize it to however you want. It's basically like, you know, so it's just a basic thing. And so, you know, somebody may need to get through it in 2 months and some people may need to get through it in 4 to 6 months. And so that's, you know, it's too hard to customize it to everybody. So it's just kind of, you know, there's no like actual structure there. It's basically, you know, however you need to go through the program, that just allows you to see all of the trainings that you would need to go through. And by the time you get through that training, you should know how to run a real estate business and you should know how to get leads. You should know how to goal set, how to basically how to do everything, how to do a listing presentation, how to do a buyer presentation, how to show buyers, you know, how to do inspections and all of that. So if you get licensed during the program, you'll know how to do all of the stuff that would be in person, showing clients, showing up to home inspections and all of that. Those are the things you're going to know once you're licensed, because you can't do those license activities until you're licensed. So I guess what I'm saying is that Asana is so customizable, because I know a lot of people get confused whenever they go in there and like, well, where am I supposed to start? I'd say start at the top. It talks about, you know, you going through and getting licensed. So you follow all of those steps. And then with the training, that's basically, you know, whatever you have time to do. If you aren't licensed yet, I would recommend starting out with the Gwilt Group University. So starting out with those and starting out with basically the basics of real estate, because you don't want to do a deep dive into too much, because you're just going to get confused, because it's not going to be something that you understand until you read through some of your real estate books. So any questions on that specifically? Or any struggles people have had with going through Asana? No? Okay.
I previously had the Gwilt University, but I can't no longer find it for some reason. When I look on it online, when I Google it or something, I was just wondering if that was something that you had to personally invite me to, or
No. So when you go into Gwilt Group University, you will create an account there. And so when you create an account there, you should have access to it then.
Okay, I'll try that again.
Are you saying you can't find the website address, or what's going on?
I looked up the university online, and I couldn't find anything that particularly pertained to that. I found the was it the Gwilt group, and I didn't know from there where to go forward.
So it should be on your Asana unless you checked it off. So
I'll check again.
Asana, yeah. Let me go to it real quick. Hold on.
you might be able to look into the completed tasks, because if you checked it off, you'll be able to find it and look at it again if you actually did.
Oh, you can.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
Okay. So, yeah, so in the getting started section, that's where it is. Create Quilt Group University account, and then it gives you the link to quiltgroup.university is all it is. And then you just go in to log in, and at the bottom, it has an option to create an account there. Any other questions?
Yes,
I
it's.
have-
Oh, go ahead.
Awesome, thanks. So I have a question about like hands-on experience. So once we're licensed and we have a mentor assigned, is it going to be like his duty to take us to an open house, or because how do we, I guess, hit the ground running so we're like progressing and getting, I don't know, experience, hands-on experience?
Yeah, so that's something that your mentor should be providing to you. They should be providing you those opportunities to go to open houses and shadow them whenever they're out showing clients, and shadow them at a home inspection, and shadow them on a listing presentation, help you practice with your scripts. They should be doing all of that with you. As a mentor, that's your job. And that's what I do, because I'm a certified mentor and I have mentees, and they've gone to showings with me and home inspections with me, because when you're doing it for the first time, you don't know what to do. And so it's good if you shadow an agent that has experience in that, so that way they can tell you how it goes. You can see how it goes. You can see the kind of questions that people have for you. So if you get paired with a mentor, so how it works is that the expand program is the one that manages like all the mentors and mentees, right? And so they're going to be doing all of the assigning. So they'll assign you a mentor. And then if you're working with a mentor and you see that they're not providing you those opportunities, and even after you ask if that's something that they're like, well, I don't provide that, then you can switch mentors if it doesn't work for you. So that's what I would say to do, because not every mentor is good at mentoring, and not every mentor is going to mesh well with you either. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
Mhm.
Awesome. And as far as like lead generation, generating leads and everything, during open houses, I've seen like that's a really popular one, but how do you actually do that? Because I don't know, can you just give out your info if you're shadowing someone, or is that something like ethically like?
So usually if you're shadowing somebody, you're watching what they're doing, so you're not necessarily getting any leads from that. What you will do though is that if open houses are allowed in your state right now, I know in California there's no open houses because of COVID. So, but say this is a regular, normal world right now. So you're going to, you can ask other agents in your area. They don't have to be EXP. You can ask them if you can do an open house for them. And then whenever you're doing the open house for them, they're not going to be there. And so you can collect all of those leads, and all of those leads will be yours, as long as they're not working with an agent, of course.
So as long as they have no agent, it's totally fine to, and if you lead an open house, and it's totally fine to give out your information and everything.
Yeah.
So another one.
Leads, those are free leads, because open houses are free, and then you get free leads to follow up with. So
Makes sense.
that's how I did it when I first started real estate.
Makes sense. Awesome. And then, so as far as California goes, since I know me included, we're here, so how would that look like? Or is it even possible to shadow someone if you cannot have an open house in person?
There for a while I wasn't, so I am not doing any open houses because we're not allowed to. But I have still had people shadow me on home inspections and showings.
All right, makes sense.
I just follow the policies.
Makes sense. Awesome. And then I guess I have the final one. So since as an agent, like you have a duty and responsibility to conduct like a competent inspection of a house. and provide a TDS. As far as that goes, like we're not professionals as far as inspecting the house and looking for termites and everything else. So what would be a competent inspection as far as somebody who doesn't, yeah, we don't have like a skill to figure out if there's a leak or anything else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't have the skill for that inspection. So what you will do though is you'll basically go around the home and look at it. So at the home inspection, you're hiring your buyer is hiring a company to come in. So you're not the one necessarily doing the home inspection. So
Mhm.
you're just there to provide support. I mean, you'll learn things over time with like common things that come up, and so you'll become more of an expert as to like how to advise your clients on which repairs to ask for and which ones aren't a big deal.
Mhm.
And so basically, you know, you're going to have a they're going to have a professional there that's going to tell them about termites and foundation damage and all of that, because as agents, our responsibility is just to put the eyes on the home. And so here in California, you have to fill out an agent visual inspection disclosure that says that you're doing a reasonable and competent and diligent inspection. And so you're not going under the foundation, you're not going into crawl spaces, you're not going into the attic. You know, you're not doing those sort of things. You're just placing eyes on it. It's just to say that, you know, just in case there was something off and say there was a leak that happened, you're notating there's a yellow stain on the ceiling.
So pretty much it has to be something that's really obvious, like a crack, and then you'll be like, oh, there is a crack. But
Yeah,
if
there's a crack
that's
in
all.
the floor, there's a crack
Right.
in the wall. And that's what you're notating whenever you're doing your inspection. But yeah, like you said, you're not a professional in those areas. And so that's what the home inspector is there for. And so say they get, you know, say the inspector finds that there's a plumbing issue, then you can tell them, hey, you know, the inspector found this. It seems like you do need to get somebody out here to inspect it. So you'll want to hire a plumber to come out and take a look at that, or you'll want to hire an electrician to come out and take a look at that.
Makes sense.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
And that's how you protect yourself too, is you don't act like you're an expert in those fields, because you're not. Even if you have the knowledge, you're acting as their agent at that point. And so if you tell them something that they move forward with and it was actually there was actually something wrong, you know who they're going to point the finger at. So
Yeah.
I like to play it probably more than safe in this business, because I want to keep my license for as long as I want to keep it. So I'm like, I try to play it on the safe side and try to be extra cautious.
Yeah, it makes sense. So pretty much just refer them to a specialist if they have anything, so they don't. Awesome. All right.
Exactly. And if it cuts us off in about 7 minutes, it's on a 40-minute time limit. If that happens, we can all just jump back into the call if we're all still going, asking questions.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Trying to think of anything else. Has everybody here joined the Facebook group? Oh, hey, Francisco.
Hi, how's it going? I just got a question. So since I know you're in California, would it be possible to do a shadow? I mean, I talked to David also, and if you guys have a showing or anything of some sort out in the field, just to kind of get a feel of how things go.
Sure.
Do you have to be licensed in order to do that, or?
No, you just can't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Like about the house. I mean, you can say something. I mean, you can talk, but you just can't talk about the house. So.
Okay, perfect. All right, sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What I forget, where are you at in California again?
I am in Ventura County.
Oh, okay.
But family's over in Orange County, so
okay.
Drive everywhere. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Where are you guys?
We're right next to LA Air Force Base.
Okay, so it's not far. So whenever you guys just have any opening, if there's any availability of showing anything like that, just let me know. I'm more than be happy to join.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know, because we might have a couple clients in that area. So
Okay, perfect.
if that's the case, then so what we usually do is have showing agents. And so in that case, I can always ask them if they don't mind if you tag along with them.
Okay, that works. Sounds good. Awesome.
Or
Thank
if
you.
you're willing to do showing, if you're willing to drive out here for showings too.
That's, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll learn as much as I can. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we might have some other opportunities for you. So send me an email and then.
Okay, most definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, since you're local. So.
All right, perfect.
You look like you have a question, Alexander.
I do.
Okay.
I have a question about as far as EXP fees to like join a brokerage
Okay.
and all that. So I'm wondering.
Did we not provide that in Asana? I don't think we did.
It might just be on their side, I guess. I just haven't looked. So
Okay.
maybe I should have looked first.
Oh, it's okay. Let me find that and I'll upload it in the, are you in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
I'll upload it there.
Awesome. Thank you.
And
And then
that'll
as
be a
far,
lot easier because I don't know this stuff off of the top of my head. So I'll have to find that so that way I can give you the
so the way it works, like you have to, after we take an exam, because I'm getting really close to, like I'm pretty much done with my 3 courses. I'm still studying and it will be continue to getting ready for the test. But after we pass the exam, that's when we go to EXP, or you have to be sponsored prior to you actually taking the test.
No, you don't have to be sponsored prior to taking the test. You can take the test, and then once you take the test, contact me and I'll help you with onboarding.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then the final one is the National Association of Realtors, as far as that goes.
Mhm.
There's also fees, or is there like a requirement as far as joining that?
Right. Yeah. So there will be fees that you'll pay to be a realtor, because otherwise you're a real estate agent and you can't refer to yourself as a realtor. So you have to join National Association of Realtors in order to call yourself that.
Okay.
And use their trademark. So and there'll be fines if you don't do that. So yeah.
But there, as far as education or any like, do you need to go through their like course or ethics or anything?
No, you just pay the fee and you go.
All right.
Yeah.
And the fees are usually yearly or monthly, or?
I think it's yearly.
All right.
I
Awesome.
think it's yearly. And then you can sign up whenever you're going through to sign up to a local association.
Makes sense. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I was trying to find the document that you were asking me about so that I can share that.
Sorry, one more thing.
Oh yeah, no problem.
In regards with the commission, I know that the 16K cap a year, and then anything over than that, it goes to us. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So after the 16K cap, anything that you close after that, it's full commission to the agent?
Right, besides the transaction fee.
Copy. All right.
At $250.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. And I capped out the year before and capped out this past year, because you're on your agent year is what it is. So if you join in February like I did,
Okay.
it resets on your agent year.
Okay, so for when would be our, like, for, let's say for me, is it the start of the Skillbridge or when I get licensed?
When you sign up to EXP.
Got it.
Onboarded. Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you reach the amount of transactions you need to cap and you've paid that 16K to EXP, say you do it within 6 months of joining, then whatever you make after that up to you that year, that's 100% to you.
Okay, sounds good. And percentage wise, I was trying to look on percentage on that. How, like, so the whole 16K cap,
Mm-hmm.
how does the commission work under that, like percentage wise? If you're under,
it's an 80-20 split, so 80 to you, 20 to the brokerage.
okay, and then after that it's 100%.
Correct.
Got it. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
And then you also have the opportunity to earn what's called icon status, basically where you do I think it's 20 to 30 transactions or so, and you will hit what's called icon. And the great thing about hitting icon is that 16K, you get that 16K back in stock. So EXP awards you 16K in stock because of that.
Oh, EXP has a ticker in the market?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's been going great actually. EXP.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Okay, sounds good.
It went down today, but I'm sure
It's okay.
Yeah.
Market's gonna come back up.
Yeah,
What is the
All the
ticker, if
stocks
you don't
are
mind me
down.
asking?
What's that?
What is the ticker for the market, if you don't mind me asking?
What? So I'm gonna sound really
Yeah,
nutty about stock.
It's called
It's EXPI.
EXPI. I'll look into
EXPI.
that.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I'm not as savvy with the stock.
I love trading, but all right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Tasha, question, when you switch brokerages in the same year, do you have to pay the MLS fee again? What other fees you have to pay
They
if you
usually
switch brokerage?
prorate.
Gotcha. Okay,
Because
so you
I've switched brokerages a couple times, and so that it's just prorated. Or they'll refund you if you're switching to a different association.
makes sense.
I don't believe your NAR fees are refunded at all. So that's just association. So basically, like if you sign up with an association in one city and you're like, well, I'm moving far away, so I need to change it, then you basically have to get, how it usually works is you have to get a letter of good standing with your current association. So that way when you're moving over to the new one, then it's, then they know that they, you paid all of your dues and you're in good standing with them. But let's hope you guys like EXP enough that you're like, yeah, this is where I'm staying. Just because it's a good brokerage and it has good opportunities. So, and I love it. I wish I would have joined to begin with. But
Question. So with EXP, it is kind of like self-paced. You're hanging your license with them, but it's like all over the United States, and you can have that mentorship. But could you say that you gained a certain amount of experience being in an actual brick and mortar brokerage compared to starting off straight with EXP? Because you're kind of like on your own without that mentorship.
So with my experience, I'm surprised we haven't gotten cut off yet. So with my experience with them, with the first brokerage I was at, I was with Keller Williams. And when I was with them, so they were really looked at as having the best training at a brokerage. And so I found that it was all right to begin with. And then as I gained